How are you, Hilary and Robert Barino?
Hello, True. How are you?
I'm well too. Karibuni. Naona you guys are the first. So welcome
Yes,
to this
yes.
session. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you.
Let's wait for the rest.
All right.
But can you see my screen?
Yes, the screen is visible. Inaonekana hapo. Imeenda.
All right. And now?
Yes, inaonekana.
Perfect. So for those who are here, the floor is open if you have anything to discuss or any questions concerning the soft uni or any questions concerning what we went over last week before we start. So feel free to unmute and ask. All right, let's start today's session. So what we're going to be covering is AI tools for generating images, video, and audio. And the thing to expect from this session is it is more of a basic introduction. I'm going to go over some basic tools that content creators use for various reasons, not only content creators, but people from marketing, advertisement, and any other field that uses image creation. Hello, mic check. Can you hear me? And can you also all see my screen? Perfect. So I think I was talking on mute. So let me just repeat. So today we are going to go over AI for image creation and AI for audio, image, and image creation. And what we're going to do today is just go over the basics. We're not going to go too deep. We're just going to go over some of the tools that you should be aware of that are in the market right now that people use and what they use them for. So this topic is basically to introduce you into creation of content or media for various purposes, whether it is for advertisement, marketing, or whatever reason you might have to want to create content using AI. So as you know, when it comes to content creation, this has been a very expensive venture. As for one, before AI, you needed actors, you needed a good camera, you needed someone who knows how to write a script, and a lot of time and money goes into content creating and a lot of effort. But AI has made it such that you can actually do this from your desk, from where you're sitting, without having to get up. And you will see how what we did from the first session ties into this session, because every part that we did from the first session to Tuesday session about coming up with good prompts ties into AI for images and video and audio creation. Because at the end of the day, those basics that we learned at the first part are what you're actually going to use for some of these exercises. So when it comes to content creation, of course, there are some AI tools that are free and some are not. But if you're someone who is actually doing this full time or want to go deeper into content creation, of course, you're going to need to pay for some of these tools. But it is at the end, it actually is cheaper than what we used to do in the past when it came to content creation. And so let's begin. Unless does anyone have any questions concerning what we went over last week or on Tuesday about prompt creation? So let's take like 2 minutes to see if there's any question concerning that. So feel free to unmute your mic and ask before we start. Okay, with that, let's begin. Just to confirm, you can all see my screen, right?
There's no presentation right now.
There's no presentation. Okay,
No presentation.
change that. Just give me a minute. Okay, let's begin. So we're going to go over some of the tools for image creation, which include MS Designer, DALL-E, which is part of ChatGPT, FreePic, and Leonardo AI. I'm sure some of you are conversant with some of these tools. We'll go through some of the tools for image editing, for video generation, and audio generation. So this is just basically an intro or basics to help you be aware of these tools that exist. But at the end of the day, practice makes perfect. So it's up to you to choose a tool that you'd want to use, a tool that you'd want to go with, and practice and see what it can give you in terms of generating content, video, or images, or audio for that matter. And there is an upcoming course on that is going to actually focus now on the details of image and content creation, I think on September. So if you're interested, if this is a route that you want to take, uh, I uh, I implore you to take that course. It's going to be very beneficial to you. And so some of the things that you can do with content creation, of course, you have, okay, just give me a minute. Sorry, there are people having an issue joining the session. So what you use content creation for, it can be in your career as a marketer, as a content creator. You can use it in writing if that is something you're into, and many other avenues that I haven't thought of. So that is one way to use content creation. And a thing about content creation now, it is very much in reach for everyone that is interested because of AI, where you can do everything from start to finish, seated on your desk, maybe with one good camera, and that's it. So let's dive into it. So let's start with the image generation, where you have FreePic, which is basically an AI where you give it a prompt and it creates the image for you. And sorry. So the process of image generation, as we did before in our previous class about prompts, is basically to give it a very good prompt. But in this case, this prompt is actually focused on creating an image. So you'd write a description of the image that you have. You'd specify a negative prompt. That is what the image should not have. Maybe select a style and choose an image size. If you want to optimize the image for certain screen sizes, like for 16.2, I think that will be a desktop computer. You can do with pixels, run, and then you run the model to generate images. So you want to generate an image that is modified and is very clear on your phone. So of course you'd have to specify the image size of phone screen size for such an image to be generated. But if you want to modify it, let's say for YouTube or for it to be viewed on bigger screens, you have to specify the image size. But normally people use it for, in general terms, they do not actually specify an image size. So that should not worry you. But if you're going into more professional content, these are the things that you need to look out for, which should be the image size, the description of the image, You select the style of the image, if you want it in form of an illustration, if you want it to look as real as possible, if you want it to look like oil painting, etc, etc. So some of the popular tools that are used for image generation, you have Midjourney, you have FreePic AI, Chrome AI, Microsoft Designer, which is part of the Microsoft Office suite. I think this one is free. This one is free most of the time. You have Leonardo.ai and everything here apart from Microsoft. If you're now trying to generate complicated images or using long prompts and the like, it's not going to be free. You're going to have to pay for a premium version. So it's good to know your models, to know which one you're going to use, if you want to do it for free or if you want to pay to start using these AIs. Of course, ChatGPT, there's also a free element to it up to a certain limit. You have Flux point one, Stable Fusion, and Del E. Now this is the one for ChatGPT. You can create an image, but the more you interact with it, it reaches a point where we talked about tokens. Your tokens run out. So if you use a pro version, you have more to go with. So this is, let's go through this one. So this one is called Microsoft Designer. So I'm going to show you what it looks like. So basically this is Microsoft Designer. You can create images with it. It even has a few templates for wallpapers, icons, invitation, banners, posters, social posts. So you see there's a lot that you can do with image creation, where before you had to be, let's say you are creating an invitation for your wedding or for your birthday or something like that. If you want to do it professionally, you had to go to Canva and you had to know how to use all those tools and the like, but you can just click this template and within 2 or 3 minutes, you already have something to go with. For example, let's try, mhm, let's try this template. And then you have the various descriptions that you have to go through. So there is so much it offers. You can't know everything at a go. So you have to try and invest your time into knowing these tools, the one that works for you, depending on what it is you're doing. So as you can see here, in this case, you just have to change the text. And when you're done, you can download it. Already it has created something. But if you want to create something original, you go to the create section and then you start from scratch. But you have to give it a very good prompt for it to work. So this is for Microsoft Designer. So if this is something that you actually like, take your time to try and come up with this, because sometimes when it comes to image creation, it takes a lot of time. It can take 2 or 3 minutes to come up with a good image. So you just give it a prompt and it gives you whatever it is you want, or you can use the templates that are already available. So this can generate and edit images and design. So if you do have an image in mind that you already have, you can use this to edit that picture and try to come up with a more quality picture. You can use it to enhance the picture. Um, so it works like Canva. If some of you have used Canva or PowerPoint, it's able to compose these images together with text. So if you need an image for a presentation, you can prompt it to create an image for you to do your to include in your presentation. It is integrated with the Office 365. So if you have an Microsoft Office 365 suite, it should be inside there. That is, if you're using Word, Excel, and the like, this Microsoft Designer is a part of it. So, for example, a birthday card featuring children's toys and the text "Happy Birthday, Lily." 2 3 seconds. There you have your image. So let's try and generate one together. So let's start from the description. So this is Ronald. A. So I'll leave the imagery for that, like that. You can choose the style. You choose the color, then tell it to create, and then you wait for it. So this is when you're using a template. It has made prompting easier in this case because it has split it into give it a description of what you want, give it an imagery, a prompt of the kind of imagery you want, give it a style, give it a color, and there you have it. You have your own image. See, it says a night to celebrate Ronald 30th birthday bash. Join us as we honor Ronald turning 30. Details to follow soon. So you can take time to finesse this and make it much better. So this is one of the most practical uses of image creation, apart from just coming up with images, is you can actually come up with such things if you're a designer of some kind. This is something that will help speed up your work. So if you know how to write a good prompt, you know how to use the app itself. Like for example, Microsoft Designer, you're able to come up with such flyers. If you want to come up with a flyer, maybe for Maraga or something like that, AI is a good use of it. You can include your imagery. I think if I'm not, yeah, you can change the imagery behind it and all that. So this is just one of the few uses for AI. You can create icons with it. So many icons have already been created. Let's do something simple so that it doesn't eat up time. It's so one of our downside of an image creation AI is the time it actually takes. So the more complicated your prompt, the more time it's going to take. And as you can see here, the top right is the number of credits that I have left, the more that I use it. So assuming this is not actually what I wanted, so it means I have to write a better prompt. So the more I use it, the more I run out of my tokens. So if you have to add more get more credits, of course, back to the payments issue, you have to pay for the pro version. So for the much more straightforward things, you can use this as I find it has more, it gives more for the little tokens that they provide for you. So that one is with Microsoft. So you have daily, of course, this is ChatGPT. So, however, the thing about Dell E is that this model is deprecated. If you're going to use Dell E, you'd rather use ChatGPT because it tells you here OpenAI legacy image generation model. So this is the first generation, uh, uh, the first image generation model that they used when ChatGPT started doing image creation. So if you want to use the latest model, just use ChatGPT itself to create the chart. So you can skip the daily part and just go directly to ChatGPT and ask for the image that you want. Let's see what they put in here. Okay, so this is integrated into ChatGPT, so you don't need to use this Del.E, just use ChatGPT itself because ChatGPT is more current and more updated, and it actually makes pretty clear images if you've used it before. You can make it generate just like we did before, birthday cakes or whatever images it is. So this is just pretty much straightforward stuff for the little things. For the much more straightforward images, let's see how ChatGPT performs and how long it takes compared to the Microsoft one. So generate an image. So birthday, age 1, uh, it photo, realistic. Sorry, I didn't want to use this. I want to use ChatGPT, but let's see what it does. So as you can see, when you look at the images, it's pretty good. You can include it in a birthday card. However, there's already some issue, like my name is not Ronald. It's wrongly spelled on the second one. So you have to keep improving your prompt or making edits so that you get what you want. But as I look at the image itself, it looks very much photorealistic, almost like a real cake. This one does not look too real. So this is what the old model will do. So let us explore what the new model can do. So as it does that, we'll come back to it. Let's look at something else. So these are just basically examples of some of the prompts you can use it for. Now these are just used for fun. So you have free pick AI. This one is not so free as the last. It eats up the tokens quite fast when you're using it. I think I've even exhausted my tokens when I used it twice today. So that is until the next day. But free pick, I'm sure most of you have used it to get before this all AI stuff. Free pick exists as a source of images, icons, videos, and anything that you might use for design. So it has a new feature where it has an AI tool where when you access the AI tool, it comes with quite the it comes up with quite the library for you to use to edit your pictures, to create an image, to create videos, to create content. And the best part of it is that it actually has instructions. So as you can see on the first page, it tells you how to create AI product images, how to create AI influencers that look real, and all that. And these are actually AI generated images. So as you can see, the more we're learning about these tools, the more the pictures are actually looking quite real. Because when you look at this, you might think this looks like a real person, but it's just an AI generated image. That is how real this is. So depending on your prompt or how you actually use it, let's try the AI image creator generator. Yeah, so I guess it wouldn't do that because I've already used it. Let's see. So it might have a technical difficulties at the moment because I still have 20 images left today. So we'll come back to this because I can see there is an issue here. Let's see what ChatGPT came up with. So this is the one from ChatGPT. Still does not look too real. So the problem with the general model, this is a model that I think we learned this in the first class, is that there are some models that can do everything, but they can't do most things perfectly. So the thing with the chat GPT, sometimes you have to squeeze in a little bit more. You have to use more effort to get what you want compared to something that is actually created for that specific task. For example, this that's unfortunate. It doesn't work. We'll see something down the line, but something that is actually created for that specific task will outperform something like Chat GPT. So we'll see some more examples down the line. Free Pick, who is usually one of the best, and at the moment we can see that there are some technical difficulties. So we'll come back to it. Hopefully, I hope it works. So we have this one is called Leonardo AI. Let's try this one. So the thing with these AIs is always remember it starts and ends with a good prompt. So you have to be really good and really concise with your prompt creation, how you click on that. Oh, seems there's an issue again. Try reduce that. So let's try same prompt. So I expect this one because it's mostly focused on image generation. This one should be much better. This one should perform much better and have a more photorealistic picture of what I want. And as you can see, it's given me more choices. So what I like about this is that when you look at the text, it actually looks photorealistic, not cartoonish. The same with the cake. Maybe the background needs a lot more work. And the reason it does not, the background looks like this is because of my prompt. I did not give it a good enough prompt, but the cake looks real. The candles, the text, everything of it looks pretty real. So I just need to work on the colors and the background. So as I said, you need time. You need time and a little bit of effort to actually learn the tool that you're using. So if you pick a tool, you decide this is the one I want, you have to learn how to write a good prompt and how to work on it, how to add more prompts to make quality images or quality videos at the end of it all. Yeah, so that is with the Leonardo AI. So you also have artificial intelligence for image editing. Now, before we were using content creation, but there are also some AIs that can be used for retouching or editing your images. So this is an example. For example, you have this retouch feature. I checked; it wasn't free for free pick. So, for example, if someone with spectacles, you write a good prompt, say add spectacles, and it looks very photorealistic. You can upscale your images, make it look much more clearer. You can expand cropped images. These are all things that you can explore, especially when now you're dealing with different screen sizes. So maybe let's say you have an image that is most suited for your mobile phone, but you want it as a picture on a desktop or a laptop. So you need something with a larger aspect ratio. So you can use AI to generate the images from the side. You can you can remove or add objects in pictures. Um, so there's one I did work on. So let me show you what it looks like. So this is also another AI. So we have this AI here. Where is it? So this is my picture. This AI is called Krea, Krea dot AI. It can enhance images. So for example, this is an old picture of me. So if I clicked on enhance, and now you can look at the difference. I don't know whether, can you see my screen? Or do I need to expand? Let me magnify. So this is an old picture. Already you can see here how blurry it looks on the background. But upon enhancing it, just look at your right. You can see the difference between this side and this side. It looks more enhanced, much more clearer. It's made me look much more younger. I don't look like this, but yeah, you get the picture. So this one is called Krea.ai, is able to enhance your pictures or your videos. Uh, and given a certain prompt, you're able to edit it even more. You're able to do one or two things with it. So I found this one quite interesting. So that is just one of them. So so there are some, of course, there are some limitations to generating images, and one of them will be the quality. As we have seen before, when I tried to give it a prompt, it was misspelling my name. You have the context and the accuracy. It might not understand what you're asking of it. There are ethical and legal issues. That is, if, for example, you're using somebody's copyrighted work to produce your own. This is very wrong. There are biases. It is also they have limited styles. Like you can, when you look at an AI picture, if it's badly done or if you've used a bad, let's say the wrong AI model for it, you'll find that you can easily tell that that is an AI picture. They kind of have this feel about them. They almost look the same. It is prompt to hallucination. It adds elements that were not requested. Text issues, text in the image has defects. And most of the time, of course, it works well. Most AI models that are used for image and content creation work well in English. They do not recognize other languages as of yet. But of course, this is going to change soon. So I open the floor for any questions that you might have before we move to the next part of this. So feel free to unmute your mic.
Just wanted to ask so that you pardon the name of the AI tool that you used in enhancing a picture kindly.
So you wanted the name of the AI tool I used. Okay. So let me type it here in the QA section. So you can see. So the tool is called Krea.ai. Can you say it? Krea, KREA.ai. We post it here, so it will be here. Have you gotten the name?
Yeah, I've got it. Thank you.
Okay, so when you go here to check, you'll find it there. Okay, so all right, more questions? Yes, Wanjiku?
Sorry, that was a mistake.
Okay. So when it comes to image creation, it's pretty much straightforward. Given a good prompt and given a good AM model, there's so much you can do. I believe there is a way to earn money from image creation on Facebook. Also as maybe side hustle or if you want to go into it fully, we have this, it's called Canva. So the thing about Canva is there are hundreds, thousands, if not millions of templates. However, using AI, you can come up with your own template, upload it, and put a price on it. And anytime somebody uses your templates for whatever reason it is they're using your templates, you get paid for it. So there are many avenues to earn money from image creation. We haven't got even to the part of video and audio creation. So from image creation alone, I know there are ways to earn money. And when you're talking about image creation, you're not just talking about pictures. We're also talking about editing images, photo editing, where at the past you had to do it very manually. Now you can use AI to make your work much more faster and produce much more quality work. You just have to know what tool to use and how to prompt it well. You can also like we saw on the Microsoft AI, where their birthday cards and many other booklets or pamphlets, you can actually create this now using AI instead of the old way where you had to do it manually. Maybe use a tool like PowerPoint and Canva, and you start from scratch, creating pamphlets, coming up with the pages and all that, while now you can actually go directly to AI and minimize that work. At the end of the day, you have to know how to write a good prompt and what tool to use. So there are many avenues if you want to focus on image creation. There are many avenues on which you can actually earn money passively with the image creation. And at the same time, the beauty about using AI for your image creation is quantity. So you can do more with less of your time and leave it out there. And slowly by slowly, you're earning some passive income. So for people who are into that kind of profession or want to get into that, this is a good avenue now to explore what you can do with image creation, not just for your own personal use, but how you can earn from it. So before we move on to the next session, any questions about that? Okay, so let's go to the next. Yes, Hilary.
Yeah, okay. So I have a question on about AI image creations and nini.
Mm-hmm.
Mostly you get people online, maybe when you upload a video or an image of an AI,
Mm-hmm.
they won't believe it. They will say, this is an AI image. Don't believe it. Like, how
Mm-hmm.
can you convince people when they say, this is not real? This is not AI, so don't believe on such stuff or that. Maybe just we are using it to pass some information, or maybe for a past event, or maybe for ongoing, or maybe for trending something or like that. So people won't believe it. They'll just say, this is just an AI image. So how do you go about that? What can you say about it?
The thing about AI images, I find that happens mostly if your aim is to deceive. If you've created an image using AI, if you've used it for the purposes of deceiving an audience, that is when people will focus on the fact that it is AI and try to disprove that this is not a real picture. However, when you go to other sites, leave Twitter alone, let's say somewhere like LinkedIn, you have a message that you want to communicate about an event or the like, and you have created an image using an AI generator. So the thing about that is that it will be received very differently as it will have been received somewhere, let's say like on TikTok or Twitter, because on LinkedIn now people are focused on the message that you're actually trying to communicate, not the fact that whatever you've produced is an AI image. So whenever you're creating an AI image, make sure it is with the notion of communicating something that goes beyond that image itself. Because if you're generating an image and using that image to lie about something, they're actually going to focus on the fact that it is an AI image and you've used it to lie. However, if you use it on a different platform, communicate a message, and the AI image just helps you to do that, people will see it is AI, yes, but the message is what they're going to focus on. So at the end of the day, what you're communicating matters. What the AI image says matters. Your honesty, your word, also matters, because sometimes you see on TikTok, you can see at the bottom there, someone actually writes AI generated. So if it is AI generated, we have no questions. So we can just focus on the message that you're communicating. So at the end of the day, you also have to pick a platform to communicate whatever you want. So if you know that Twitter are actually going to be critics, don't put it there, put it somewhere else where it will be well received. So have I answered your question, Hillary? Hillary, you there? Yeah. So anyone with a question before I move on to the next thing? All right, so let's move on to the next session, which will be on for video content. So what people use for video content, you have in video AI. This is a very good one. I see most people actually use this to create videos. So the thing about in video is that you can create a script. It uses the script to edit stock videos. So stock videos are videos that are already available. It adds voices and subtitles, adds background and music. There is so much actually this AI can do. So let's say, I think this was a very good example of that. So this was just one of the videos that were created. The link is there. So this is entirely created by AI, given a good prompt. And as you can see, it actually looks quite real. When you look at it, you can't actually look at it and say that it is AI. That part is AI. But it looks so realistic and it's doing the thing that you want it to do. So if you're making an advert, if you have a business and something like that, and you want to make an advert, to do it at the control of your own keyboard, you'd actually try to do it on something like in video. It can come up with very good videos, very good images, because as you can see, you can use the stock video to do that. So you can invest your time in knowing how does this in video actually work. And that is something that hopefully if you're joining the more the other if you're joining the more advanced class, this is something that we will explore. But it's a really good feature if you're coming up with adverts for your business, adverts for your for where you're working or something like that. In video is a very good place to start. And as you can see, the video itself, it needs a little bit work, yes, but it actually looks photorealistic. You can't even tell that it is AI generated. But one of the giveaways for AI video is usually facial features. But a good AI model, it's hard to tell whether this is an actual human being or this is AI generated. Let's look at the part about the pizza. You can see very hard to tell. But one of the giveaways will be that the camera is too close to the pizza, so there's no way this when I'm online and I want to tell apart an AI video from a real video is how the camera moves. So these are just some of the prompts that you can give the AI to make it even more realistic. But I've seen most companies are now going with image creation for AI instead of the old way of actually doing it. So you have to just post that. So you have to. So if you're using this app, you can come up with a script, tell it to what to do, and when. We did learn about prompt creation, so I'll show you a neat trick if you are into creation of content using video. So this look at the prompts. Let's look at it carefully. So it create a fast-paced YouTube Shorts video about an Italian seaside restaurant. So the fact that you've said a YouTube Shorts video, it already knows the amount of time that video should take, maybe a few seconds, 30, 50 or less. Show the chef making the pizza on a sunny, breezy day and use energetic background music. And as you've seen, that is all there. It's such a simple prompt has come up with such an amazing video. So this one in video is really good. So as you see, first you start with a basic description. For example, here show how to make rotations of the Rubik's Cube, how to arrange the first wall and the following ones, and then you add some more details. For example, it will bring this little box here where you can see it makes you specify the duration. It makes you specify the audience the video is made for and the platform that you're going to post this video on. Is it YouTube, or is it YouTube Shorts, or is it Instagram Reels? So after that, you just wait for your video generation and an initial video is created. So if you need to improve it, you can edit the script. So there's a lot that goes into making this, especially when it comes now to start editing it. And then you download the video and you have your video. So of course, there's a pro version of this. It can do more much faster. So this is a really good one. Take note of it at your free time. Try to practice some prompts when it comes to video generation with this in video AI. So this is the one that we had seen earlier. So using that one prompt, you already have such an amazing video. It could use some work because you can see there's something wrong with the fingers at some point. I don't know whether you captured it, but the video quality itself is really good, as you can see. Short, concise, and it does the thing that you asked it to do. So if you're actually someone who knows how to monetize these platforms, be it YouTube or YouTube Reels, it's worth considering something like this. If you want to teach a class on YouTube, if you want to do something of the sort, and you just want to post random videos and the like, more people are actually getting into the AI bug. Because, for example, I wonder if you've seen these videos of people cutting fruits, and it's called ASMR. You see people cutting fruits and it produces a different kind of sound where you can clearly see that it is an AI video, but when you look at the views and the number of likes, you see a lot of people actually like such videos. Despite the fact that it is AI, people actually love such videos. And if you're posting it on somewhere like YouTube or TikTok, it's something that can actually earn you money. Or this video of people eating, I don't know, it's called mukbang or something like that. Some of them are AI generated, but you can see there's actually interaction, and people actually like that. So that is one way to monetize this if you're into content creation. So this is with that in video. And you can go deeper into the settings. For example, when you look at here, it tells you how long the video, you specify how long it should be. You can write a script. You can specify the background music, the language it should use, the gender, the voice, the narrator, and so much more to get the outcome that you're looking for. So in video AI. So that's a really good one. And so this is again one of those prompts. Now this one is much longer, so you expect the video to be longer as well, and a bit more complicated with many working parts. Because because you can see they have specified how the ocean waves roll into the shore, the starfish on the beach, the bright blue sky, and all that. So the more richer you make your prompt, the richer the video is going to be. So you have another one is Gen 3 Alpha, which is basically just the same. It turns your text to video, so you prompt it to give you a video. It can change your image to video, where you give it an image and it brings it to life. You can improve on your video. You can remove background. So as you can see, the free version is notably limited. So you have that Gen Alpha. There's a space rocket. Sorry. So this is one of them where you tell it to create a shot of a woman running while watching a rocket in the distance. Let's see the quality of it. It's not bad, but there's something about it. You can tell it is AI because the woman is moving, but she's not going anywhere really. I can't tell if she's actually moving forward or is the ground that is moving forward with her. So the better your prompt, that was a very simple prompt. So the better your prompt, the better the video becomes, the more realistic it becomes. But with that simple prompt, this is actually a very good video. So for most of these applications, especially when it comes to video generation, you're going to want to use the pro versions. That is why I was saying that explore the models that you have in its free version. Pick one for a certain purpose. Learn about it before you invest in paying for a pro version if you want to get deeper into content creation. So if you like in video, try see its features, what it can do and what it cannot, as we have seen there before. If you like Gen 3, because you can see it can turn your text to video, it can turn your images to video. Maybe in video can't do that, so you're more inclined to this. So you try to learn how to use it, and then you pay for the pro version and see how many more features on how much it can help you with whatever tasks it is you need to carry out when it comes to content creation. So most of these are just simple prompts, but you can see the quality actually looks very good. For example, a prompt: an empty warehouse where flowers start blooming through the concrete. So let's look at it. It's 10 seconds long. Here's a very beautiful video. Flowers look real. There's clarity, and there's some you can add some background music to it, and you can make it much longer. So if you so I think about this is that you have to learn to think outside the box. Sometimes it's not just about creating the video. So if you're creating the video, maybe you're also at the same time communicating a message. So for example, in this case, you have a video that is 10 seconds long, but you'd want to add text in the video. The AI can do that. So as much as there's a video there, you're adding text, maybe about the environment, or about an environmental conference that is going to be held in Kenya, or about some greenhouse gases. Include your text or a narration about that as you watch the 10-second video to introduce whatever it is that you're advertising, or whatever it is you want to pass across. So it's not just about creating a video that goes nowhere, it's creating a video and communicating a message at the same time. So when you're thinking outside the box, you'll come to realize that there's so much you can do with this AI, how you can integrate it into your career, how you can integrate it into your presentations, and anything else it is that you're farming or you want to engage people on. So that's one thing I'd advise you about. So this is more of the same. Gen 3. This is a video. Speaker talks in front of a conference, then gets awarded. 5-second video. Concise, straight to the point. So with the prompt, you can make them Kenyan. You can set the background, KCC, etc., and make it more relatable. Then you have Hayden. So this creates a video with speaking avatars. There's a collection of ready-to-use avatars. There's a voice library. It consists of sequences and scenes. I think now in a situation where you're teaching something, or you're passing across a message on a platform, let's say YouTube, but you're not comfortable showing your face, or you're not comfortable people knowing who you are. So this is a very good one, where you use an avatar to represent you. It can read a script of what you tell it to do. You can customize that avatar, and then you give it a voice, or what you want it to sound like, so that it can communicate that message that you want it to communicate. So if, for example, your website, you are creating a website, and on the landing page you want there to be a video that welcomes people to that website, just a short clip. Or maybe, for example, in Softuni, if let's say I want, when you log into Softuni, you should see a video that takes you through the steps of logging into Softuni, and accessing the resources, downloading, and all that. But I'm not comfortable doing the video myself, because maybe I'm I look a little bit rough. So I'd use this to speak on my behalf. If I need someone there in the video, I'd customize it and give it a script for it to read through as you watch the video. And it is actually quite difficult to tell it apart. You can't really tell if this is a real person or an avatar. So you have AI for generating video scripts. So when it comes to content creation, something that you can do is that when we started this course, we learned various AIs. You had ChatGPT. Some that stood out was ChatGPT. There was the Bing AI and Cloud. So you can actually, when you are using this, for example, we have Agent. The one before that was InVideo, or this Gen 3. So if you're using any of those AIs to create a video, at the end of the day, what you're going to need is a well-written script. Remember, a video, think of yourself as a director. At the end of the day, it's not just about the prompt. Now, when you give it a prompt, you see it's creating short videos, 10, 15 seconds. It's good. But what if you need something longer, something of more value? So you need a script. So what you can do is you can use ChatGPT to write a very good script that you can use for another AI. So this is how these AIs actually interact. When I told you that some AIs are good at something and some are bad at something. So for these AIs, for content creation, they rely on you to come up with a good prompt or a good script. So instead of actually sitting down and thinking up one, you can have maybe the general aspects of the kind of video you want. Give ChatGPT a good prompt, and it gives you a very good script that you can copy paste into the in video or whatever AI you're using to create the video. And there you have a longer, more substantial, and very believable video that follows a specific script, because writing a script takes a lot of work. It takes time and experience. But if you don't have the experience, you can actually use ChatGPT for it. You can use ChatGPT to do that. As you can see, this is one that was already pre-done. It's a men's perfume advertisement, and you ask ChatGPT to come up with a script for it. You use, of course, we learned about prompt creation, where you want a script to be used. It should be 30 seconds long for a men's perfume. This is the name of the perfume, and you want it to communicate strength, elegance, and freedom. Come up with a script for this, and as you can see, this is a well-written script, and it is 30 seconds long, and it tells you the visual to be used in each of the scenes. So it's all about your imagination and how you actually write your prompt. So it is easier to write the prompt in ChatGPT and finesse it instead of writing the prompt in the image or content creator generator, because as we had seen before, we were just giving the image creation model a prompt. But if you're looking to write more meaningful presentation or more meaningful videos, just do it in something like ChatGPT or Cloud and give it the instructions. It is easier to come up with prompts that tells it to write a script rather than to write the script yourself. Go through the script and make sure it is okay, then copy paste the script into it into one of the models. So I wonder if I have enough credits for one of these. Let's try this one. So I think this is going to take time, so let it do its thing as we continue. All right, so this is for YouTube, where we have an AI generated script. So this is already generated, and this is basically the movie. Yeah, so we're not going to watch the entire movie, but you get the concept. Write the script in ChatGPT and give an AI model that script for it to work on. I almost closed it. So at the end of this, I hope it will be done by then, and then we can look at it, hoping that I have enough tokens for this one. So I can see it has done. Oh, good. It's still going on. So this is one that you can watch, done completely by AI. So the risks, of course, there are risks and challenges when it comes to this, where you can create deepfake videos. You've seen a lot of this on the internet. And currently there's a law against it in the EU, but current law has not caught up with this. You can create a deepfake of someone, it can get you in trouble, but there's no law that can actually put you behind bars currently, which is sad. But soon the law will actually catch up with AI. So AI takes jobs from video editors and animators, yet to be debated, because you actually need a video editor and animator to use the AI. But with a little knowledge, like what we are going through now, you've seen that you can actually do some of these things on your own. Even as a video editor, you can use AI to do more and to have quality, to produce quality work. So instead of doing it the old-fashioned way, or where you do it yourself and there's a lot of moving pieces, deadlines and all that, you can use AI to achieve more in the process. So if you actually have this skill, this is a very good avenue to explore. Video editing, animation, marketing, content creation, it is really open out there. So as much as it says it takes jobs, it can also create jobs. So if you're starting from somewhere and you're interested in AI, you're interested in image content creation, learn a bit of it, practice, and then advertise yourself. Clearly, you can advertise yourself using the AI itself, as we have seen, where you can create an advert. So another thing, it's biased and discrimination. Maybe it does not, when you try and prompt certain AIs about to be more, if you're using people, let's say, to be more African or black, you'd see that we look kind of cartoonish because it's not trained well. Compared to a white person, you'd see they look more realistic compared to us. There's a certain aspect of AI that is biased, because on the data that is trained on, it doesn't know how to do. Some AI models don't know how to do black skin very well. It has copyright issues, legal and copyright issues. We went over this in the last session. So as we wait for this, floor is open for questions. Please unmute your mic and ask. So let's see, audience, 30 seconds. We're going to do it for Instagram reel, then tell it to generate. Oops, so we can't, as I guessed. It's quite expensive. Yes, Dave.
Hi, Ronald. Thank you for the session. So I have a two-part question, and the second question depends on what the answer of the first question would be. So I'll touch a bit on what you taught yesterday. So I came about a conversation about, I don't know if it's APRMs or AIPRMs. So I'm curious, what are they? Is it, can we use them to generate prompts? If yes, number two, my second question would be, can we use them specifically for content creation?
Sorry, AI?
AIPRMs.
AIPRN.
M for monkey.
Okay. So this is a tool for prompt management, right?
Yeah, if I
Mhm.
got correctly from that conversation, because it was two people who were talking about it.
Mhm. Yeah, I believe actually such tools do exist when it comes to prompt creation, where there are tools that you can use because anytime that there is a new technology in the market, there's always something new that comes, what we call it, supporting structures. For example, now when it comes to writing prompts, might be difficult. However, with a tool that helps you write prompts, it becomes much easier and you're able to write much better prompts. So yes, this is something that you can use if you're not doing it yourself. This is something that you can use to generate prompts, and you can use it for generate prompts that lead to scripts, which lead to content creation. However, the thing with the search tools is you are in a space where you want to avoid paying for so many tools to achieve something. So I imagine most of the tools available support that they're not free. So you pay for that tool so that you use the prompt in a tool that you're paying, let's say ChatGPT, because you want the pro version, so that you can use that script that you've generated in ChatGPT in video, a tool that you're also paying to generate a video into. Maybe if you've monetized your account, I assume the account is also paid for, you have a paid for membership. So in this instance, you want to learn to do some of the things by yourself so as to, because there's a financial aspect to it. So if you do know how to generate your prompts, you will not need a tool prompt generation. And if you do know how to generate a very good prompt, you will not need to pay for a pro version of ChatGPT, because given the right prompts, it can actually generate something without using the pro version. So these tools do exist. You can use them for generating prompts and scripts and whatever not, but there's also a financial aspect where you want to stay within a certain budget. When you're creating content, you don't want to get too much out of your budget. So there's that as well. So if you don't know how to do it yourself, that adds to it, makes it much cheaper for you when you are now doing it. So have I answered your question?
Yes, thank you.
So like for example, we had our script, we used ChatGPT, it was free. So the prompt was good, it gave us a good script. So this is where we hit a roadblock because of the quality of the script and the duration and whatever we're doing. We cannot generate this because I do not have credits. And this is $28 a month, which means you can actually run out of credit. For 10 credits, you can see, and this is yearly. So let's see if proceed with stock media, which is free. Let's see what it does. So in all this, it's also good to be to keep in mind your pocket. You earn the most from this through quantity, quality, but at the same time, you also have to balance the costs on how much it takes you to produce a video. So as much as it has reduced over the years, because before you'd actually have to do it on the ground. If you're doing it, especially if you're starting out, try to use as much of the free services as possible. Try to use your own knowledge as possible, as much as there are tools that exist. As I always say, learn the basics such that you do not rely on a tool to do something. So if you and the basics in this case will be prompt generation. So if you're very good at generating prompts, if you've learned the basics of generating prompts, you can go ahead and use whatever tool it is. You don't have to rely on it. That's how you become an expert. So can't wait for it. So let's continue. So any more questions, please feel free to ask.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello. I have a question.
Mhm.
In regards to what you had mentioned the last session
Mhm.
about how AI is not going to replace anybody's jobs,
Mhm.
but we need to be able to use it to, I guess, make us more efficient,
Mhm.
fasten our workflows and things like that.
Mhm.
Is there a way you can just explain that in a way that we can visually see what does that mean?
Mhm.
My job is safe if I can use AI and not be replaced by AI. Like, fine, we were talking about prompt engineering,
Mhm.
but how do I put that in place? How do I practically apply that so that
Mhm.
I am more efficient, I guess, or more valuable even at work, the workplace? I'm just not sure how to see it the way
see
you are
it.
seeing
Okay.
it. Yeah.
So I have a good example for that. So I'm a data analyst, and for example, sometime last year I had clients, but the problem was that the things that they were asking of me to try and give them, it was way above what I could do on a technical level. But of course, you're not going to tell them that you cannot deliver. So I know how to use AI. I know the things that I'm going to be doing are quite complicated. And at the same time, I want to deliver what is over and above. So one thing to note that is that AI is not a mainstream thing in Africa in a way that it is integrated so much to such a point that it can actually replace an entire human being. That is something that is happening right now for small job sectors outside Africa, but in Africa, employers still trust employees. However, especially if you're doing freelancing, especially if you're doing something on the side. I'm not a content creator and I don't have the knack for starting, let's say, a business from the ground up because I want to earn on the side. Or in case of my job, technology is always improving. A client comes to you, they want you to produce this, and you do not know how to do it. So the old way would have been to go to Google it, go to actual experienced people. But you see, you already have the task at hand. So how does AI make me productive? So it helped me come up with something robust. It helped me to do what the client asked, and I delivered over and above that. But you see, it is not by my own strength. It's because I used AI and I knew how to use it well. I knew how to use it for verification. I knew how to use it from the ground up and try to integrate that into what I was trying to deliver. So at the end of the day, you give results, good results, and that makes you more valuable compared to me 3 years ago with the exact same skill set but did not have AI in mind. So if I actually looked at the task at hand, because I'm a freelancer, if I actually looked at the task at hand, I'd say I'm not qualified to do this. Assuming now I don't know how to use AI, I'd look at it and say this is above my skill level, and I'd skip that completely. But now, with the confidence of AI, I know how to use AI, and I'm in the data field at the same time, and it is always changing. So if I do meet clients on my free time, no matter what they ask of me, as long as it is data, in medicine, I'm a data analyst, maybe mostly in financial circles. As long as it is, even if it is outside my comfort zone, I'm not really worried because I know once I'm given that, I know what I need to do. Even if I do not know how to do it, I can just go to ChatGPT and I can come up with a good prompt. Like yesterday, we did the prompt about how to lose weight, and you saw how detailed it was. So I can come up with a very good prompt that will give me a very, very well detailed plan to go about something, and I can enact it in real life. That makes me more valuable compared to someone who will skip that because they do not have the current knowledge or technical skills to do it. So if you have the basics down and you know what you're doing in your career, but there are things that are above you, you can still achieve them with the use of AI. It's kind of a cheat code. I'd say you can cheat with AI to deliver the same quality work that someone experienced would also deliver. So that is how you leverage the use of AI, and it comes very much in handy, especially if you're doing things on the side, if you're doing things for yourself that you're not very adept at. If you're doing things for yourself or you're starting something for yourself on the side, AI really comes in handy, and it saves on costs on the things that you want to do. So you don't need to go get a diploma to do this. You can just use AI for that exact purpose. So assuming you have a business, you keep records, but the thing with that, you're not a data analyst. You don't have to employ a data analyst to tell you that your business is going like this. You don't have to employ an accountant to tell you that your business is going like this. What you can do, upload your data to an AI model, tell it what you want, and it gives you an analysis, it gives you a financial plan and all that. So it saves also, it adds value to the things that you're doing for yourself as much as it adds value to the things that you do at work. Have I explained myself ama nimekupoteza?
Okay, yeah, it helps. It helps, yes. It helps.
Yeah, so the thing also is, as much as this is not something that has been adopted fully here in Africa, what I can say it is only anything out there is only a matter of time. It's mainstream, and it's only a matter of time before you go to work one day and you find some technicians there, and already your website has some kind of chatbot, and you're being told to use this, and you see someone is having difficulty doing that and all that. It's only a matter of time on various industries and various levels. It's only a matter of time before you actually find these AIs at your workplace. More people are adopting it. Give it a few years, is going to be very mainstream, and it's going to be a required skill where if you're going for a certain job, let's say in the past, a department would hire maybe 5 sales marketers, but 6 years down the line, since wamejua this thing about AI, now they want 3 marketers with experience in using AI. So this is something that is going to happen. It's unavoidable. Might not make you lose your job, but it will for sure, if you know how to do it, it will for sure make you indispensable to what you're doing. And it increases your hiring prospects down the line. Especially if you start using it today, you have to continue using it so that you're very good at what you do by the time it becomes important. So it's all about getting at the first floor, mapema, as it is with most things. Yeah. So it's only a matter of time before it becomes mainstream. Yeah.
Okay. Just another random question, if I may. Let's say it reached that point, like me, and I'm working somewhere. I'm in a team of 3 people, and we are all very conversant with ChatGPT or with AI. How do we now prove ourselves genuine? Maybe we are competing for a position higher. We are all using ChatGPT. How do you now stand out when everyone is conversant with ChatGPT? Because it's no longer our brains, right?
Yeah. Now the thing about
what is that? Is that a more of a different question?
For that, I can answer. With regards to what I do. in my case, if it's such a situation to stand out, it's all about what you've built. Where I think you've heard the phrase "build in public." So in public, whether it is at my workplace or social media, or that if you go to my LinkedIn portfolio, you'd see that I've built a lot. So if we're actually competing for a job, and at the last stage, someone from the human resource decides to look at my social media accounts, they'd notice that I have so many projects that I've built by myself. That proves that I have the skill to do what they need. It's really straightforward. If I've built and I have the proof to show it, so that makes me stand out in my field. So depending on the fields that you are, anything that you do in private might not be seen, but try to stand out by building things in public, doing things better in public. This increases your value depending on how you present, depending on the platforms that you use for that. So if you're a designer, I assume there's actually a website where you can find various designs for 1, 2, 3. So you can attach your name to that and you have a portfolio. So at the end of the day, it's all about having a portfolio that you've done the work, you can do the work, and you do it very well. So as much as you have the skill to use something, also show that you have used it and you've built something. So build in public, depending on how relevant this is to your field. That is just one of the ways you can stand out, is if you have something on the side that shows you know how to use this, apart from the work aspect of it.
Okay, thank you.
So as much as we are learning these AI models, it is easy to forget the others and focus on one, let's say like ChatGPT. But at the end of the day, there are so many ways you can actually expound on that knowledge. For example, AI is open source. You can actually integrate GPT into your machine, on your local machine, and it performs better than if it were online. So this is more technical, but just to help you think outside the box to see how you can use these AIs. So don't focus too much on one, because ChatGPT, Kenyans know how to use ChatGPT. But you might find that if you're going out into the workspace, depending on the kind of work that you do, in this case, content creation, you can't go to that and say you're an expert in ChatGPT. What you want to be an expert is in video, at least 2, 3 tools. So you've mastered ChatGPT for your script writing, you've mastered Claude for improving your script writing, you've mastered AI PRM for your prompts. You've mastered Gen 3 or in video, and some other AI for your media creation. So at the end of the day, as much as you master that, you have certificates to show that you've done this. You also need a portfolio project. So I encourage you to try and see what you can do in form of a portfolio project that showcases your skills in various AI models. Oh, it's actually finished. Let's see what it did. It's not bad. Maybe the script could use a little more work, but given that we were actually using the free version and we were limited in terms of tokens, this is a good advertisement. I just don't like the guy here, but that's something we can remove. Yeah, so this is just one way to do it. I wrote a script in ChatGPT and I used in video for the advert. So we're going to rush through this because there is no time. I don't want our class to get to 10. So you have AI for songs. So the thing about AI for songs, you've seen that on Spotify, there is an issue where you see someone has over 100 million streams, but you look at the artist and you're like, I do not know who this is, or I've never heard of them, and you wonder how they are. So I think this was a legal issue a few months back where people are actually using AI to come up with music, where you give it the lyrics and it sings and you post it on Spotify, and you even come up with an entire album, and it is all AI, and it is very hard to tell. You look at the names and they are very generic, and you wonder who is this person, but I like the music, and all of a sudden you're making money with that. So this is one way you can do. This is a AI generation for songs. You have this one called Suno. I'll go through this, but this is basically you give it lyrics and tell it to sing. You make sure you give it a style, maybe hard rock or gothic, and then as you can see, they're using ChatGPT to come up with lyrics. So just know how to integrate these various models, that they work together, or one model does something better than something else in a certain field. So you give this and it sings a song, and it generates a song for you, upload it on Spotify, and there you're earning your cash in silence. But then you have to come up with what do we call it? I think we saw it on one of the eyes. You have to come up with oh, I forget. There's one of the eyes that we just saw a few slides ago. I don't know if someone can remind me, where you come up with some when you're not comfortable showing your face. Someone remember the name of the AI? Yeah, there was an AI where you come up with a face and
I think it's Hey John.
yes, that's the one. So if you're coming up with music to put on Spotify, but you don't want to show your face, you can use that to come up with a false character that sings for you. But don't do that. Very illegal. Get caught, jail time. So that is just one of the uses of AI. As you see, there are copyright issues and very many ethical issues to consider. Yeah. So you can select the genre of the song, the mood, the tempo, instruments, length. Now this is if you're into music. I assume now you do know all this stuff, tempo, instruments, length. I can't say I know that. I don't really know much about music creation, but this is just one of the things you can use it for. So you have AI for images, for video, and for music. And in our more advanced class, we go deeper into this, and we'll actually get to use some of these tools and come up with projects. Because at the end of it all, I expect that depending on your interests, you can come up with a portfolio project. So as we come to the end of the class, I open the floor for questions. I'd also like to know what some of you actually do, if you're open to share, so that maybe in the next class I can actually come suggest some of the things that you can use AI in your field, or whatever it is you're currently doing. So the floor is open. Just feel free to unmute. No need to raise your hand. Msiogope. If no questions, at least let me know what you do on your free time, or what you do as a career, or if you're a student, or what you're hoping to gain from the use of AI. And maybe I can help direct you or give you the best tool for what you need.
Okay, I'll start.
Okay.
Hello, my name is
No.
Lavin Kasana.
Mhm.
I am a biomedical engineer, precisely an electrical engineer, but I'm specific in hospital equipment, basically all hospital equipment,
Mhm.
X-ray, anesthesia machine. So basically a biomedical engineer. So I'm okay. Basically, I'm just here to understand what AI entails and get the whole gist. Like everyone is talking about AI, you're just there, you don't know what you can't even differentiate between AI and normal people. So I'm just here to learn, and basically if you can just advise how I can incorporate AI into my career.
Okay. So far in your career, have you come across anything to do with AI that ties with what you do as an engineer?
Let me see. Not really, because our work is precisely hands-on. Like
Mhm.
you have like need labor, not like you have to sit
Mhm.
and and generate solutions using the computer. No, you have to do the work. You have to fix the anesthesia machine if it's not working. You
Mhm.
have to connect the fuse to solder, things like that. I haven't really come across any at no point that I'm supposed to use AI.
Mhm.
Um, Maybe not really. I can't say not really.
You see, your job is one of those that I can say for a fact can't be replaced by AI. Yeah, because especially you need to be there on the ground to fix something.
Yeah.
But now when we are talking about AI,
Mm.
I assume you do there. I assume there is machinery or medical instruments, some that you haven't yet interacted with. That's some right. Maybe they're not available yet, or you haven't had the chance to work on.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now, if you need a quick fix, now in your case, you want to know how to use something or operate on. The thing about searching it on Google is that you're not going
Yeah.
to get that. It becomes difficult getting that information. However, if you're actually using AI like ChatGPT and you want to know something about a specific model or a specific instrument that you use, the thing about ChatGPT is that it has a wider reach compared to Google. It can actually give you more information specific to the thing that you want to learn or
Okay.
you want to improve on or work on, especially if you haven't had the chance to work on it yet, because ChatGPT has been trained for years and it has been trained on things that are not publicly, I'd say, publicly available on the internet. It has been trained on personal information, on dissertations, theses, textbooks, PDF textbooks, and all that. So it has all that knowledge in one tiny space. And the only thing you have to do is just ask it. So in your case, AI will not replace what you do, but it can help improve on what you already know, on the knowledge that you already know. And apart from that, if you want to explore any other side hustle, AI is a
Mm-hmm.
very good source to help you do that, so that you've already learned all this engineering for many, many years. You don't want to go back to school to learn how to do something else. If you want to start another business and make it work from the ground up, if you want to open a company, if you want to branch out on your own at some point.
Mm-hmm.
So when you use AI, it makes that much simpler, because as we saw on our first class, we used AI to try and open a hotel, and it actually listed out every license that you'd need and where to get those licenses. And I imagine if I was using Google to do the same, I'd miss half of them because there's no place in Google, unless somebody has written an article about it, there's no place in Google that will actually tell you that you need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You can get them here, go here. You see, AI made it very much easier and very much straightforward and saved a
Yeah.
lot of time. Yeah, so
Okay.
for knowledge addition, to learn something new, in your case, very specific to your case, AI will be a good start. And there's also the feature of AI image search that actually performs better than Google. So if you've opened something up and you want to know what's what, you can use AI, it will tell you what is what. It may be very difficult to find that same feature with Google.
Okay.
Yeah, so that is just at the top of my head. That is just one of the things you could use AI for.
Thank you.
Welcome. Anyone else?
If I can just ask another question.
All right.
You see how these days when you Google something,
Mhm,
you just type in Google XYZ,
mhm,
and the first thing at the top you see there these days is AI overview.
mhm.
So what's the difference between me going to ChatGPT and asking that question
Mhm.
if Google is now giving me AI answers?
Oh, yeah, actually, that's a very good question. Those two things are exactly the same. That is actually an AI integrated into Google. However, I implore you to never use that reply as a source of information because it is widely inaccurate. At the end of the day, an AI model is as good as the information it is trained on. It is as good as the effort it took to make it. So if you're doing that and it gives you a result on Google and you do that, it gives you a result on ChatGPT, I can assure you that something like ChatGPT or any other AI model or DeepSeek will give you a better answer, a more accurate answer than what you have on Google search bar. It has been proven to be very inaccurate, I think, because it was trained on Reddit posts and all that. So don't use that. Most of the time, it is inaccurate and it is very biased because it does not read on corroborated information. Sometimes it is prone to hallucinations. So me, Wanalenga, I just scroll down to the source that I want.
So where's that answer coming from? Which like ChatGPT? Oh, sorry, which AI? What AI program is that answer that comes there at the top from Google? Or is that a Google thing, or what is it?
No, it is an AI model. It's from, I think for Google was what Gemini, but one of the lesser ones. You see, there are various versions of AI models that are improved upon the previous. So for some reason, the one that they use on the search bar is of low quality compared to if you actually went to the actual Google AI, which is Gemini. It will give you a different answer from what you see on the search bar. I don't know which one they used, but it's not the same as ChatGPT because AI models are different. So, for example, for ChatGPT, you have the basic ChatGPT, you have 3.0, you have 4.0, you have Dell E. So, depending on the model that you're using, the more accurate or the much better your answer becomes. So the one for Google is very free. That should be a sign already because it will always give you an answer even when you don't need it to give you an answer, unlike ChatGPT and the rest, which are at some points they're paid for. So anything free as that, always approach it with caution. So they just integrated it there, but it's far from perfect. They were just, it's all about competition. They just wanted to get into the market with something because Microsoft already had their own. If you use Edge to search, you'll find that, yeah, it has Bing AI at the search bar. So Microsoft already has its own and Google has its own. So they were like, oh, we're being left behind, come up with something really quick. So that is the result of that. Yeah.
So Bing and Copilot, are they the same thing?
Yeah, they are the same thing, just integrated into different things. Because Copilot, you can get it as an app itself. It's actually, if you look at, it should be here. I don't know if you can see my screen.
Yes.
This here, that is Copilot. So you can get it as an app itself. You can see it just looks like ChatGPT, but if I use, let's say, Edge, and I search something, it's also here. They are really the same thing. It's just that one is more personal, more localized. It's going to remember a conversation. It's more useful running on your machine like this. This is more of a web Copilot. So this you can compare it with the one in Google. Bing does much better, and it's also part of your Windows update. It should be there at the bottom. They're the same thing.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Any more questions? Please feel free to ask. Right, feel free to drop off or ever stay behind for someone who needs more personalized advice. So you can drop off, but the floor is still open.
Hi, Ronald. Am I audible?
Yes, you're very audible.
So, hi, I'm Joseph Nganga.
Yes.
So, I'm in business, specifically running a furniture business right now. Still at its infancy stage. So, my interest in AI is to learn how to integrate it so that I'm able to grow the business faster. And also to try and use it as for side hustle, so I'm able to get day-to-day cash, because right now things are tight. So like you to also maybe reference to maybe AI models that I can use to grow the business in terms of that specific business, in terms of maybe what I can use for assistance, maybe for sharing, for posts. So, and also the fear, if I'd use an AI to create photos, might it put customer trust at risk? Yeah, so I'm thinking along those lines.
So first, I'll start with the media aspect of it. As you've seen on the previous models that we have seen, like Gen 3 in videos and the rest, apart from creating content from scratch, what it can also do is enhance what you already have. So you do have photos of your store, of your furniture, of all that. You want them to look much better, more professional, much clearer, much sharper. What you can use now the AI models to actually enhance what you already have. That's just for starters. You can even build upon it. We saw that there's an AI model that can actually create an image when you go through the notes much later on. I don't forgotten the name. We have done so many today, but there was an AI model that can create an image to a video. So it will basically use that image that you give it, that picture that you give it, and generate a video out of it for advertisement purposes. It can add a narration to it. If you give it a script, it can read out of that script. When you want to maybe just come up with a short video, 10-second video for an advert on TikTok or YouTube, you can use real images that come up with videos that are realistic as possible, thus not losing any trust from your customer. So that is just on content creation. Of course, we go deeper into this in our advanced classes, but when it comes to the business itself, I'm sure there are questions that you ask when it comes to expanding your business in form of capital, in form of the skill you need. Maybe you need people from sales, maybe you need an accountant to help you balance your budget and all that. So you want to limit, at the same time you want to limit your costs. Remember that we learned ChatGPT can actually be a very good personal assistant. It can create a schedule for you. It can tell you how often you need to create a post to advertise your business. It can tell you the best avenues to post these videos for your business. It can actually do that budget for you if you give it enough information. If you tell it, this is what I stock on, this is what I spend, I buy it from here, and whatever your need is, it can actually come up with a very well written budget. Tells you how much you need to spend to break even, how much you need to save if you want to expand on your business, and the more better data you give it, the better the results or the output is going to be. It's going to help you in your business as much as you just need to feed it information about your business. You need to tell it what you need. Remember, we learned about roles. So in this case, you can actually tell it, act as an accountant for my business. This is my current portfolio. I restock every 2 weeks. This is what I buy. I buy it at this much. This is an average of how much I sell. So how much, you can ask it like, how much more do I need to sell to get to break even? How can I minimize costs? How can I increase profits in a certain duration? Then one thing that you should always add in your prompts is use the web. So it is going to look at the internet and give you information, and also give it your location, which is Kenya. So use the web. I live in Kenya. So it's going to look out there and see the best practices for your kind of business, for your kind of business model that you have, and it's going to advise you accordingly. So that is just one of the uses of integrating AI at a basic level in your business, because you can also, if you are doing the, what do we call it, first in, first out, last in, first out, that is in accounting and business, and such things. Now that is something AI can actually help you keep track of if you are integrating it. Now there are more models, like, remember I had told you, for example, let me show you just an example right now. So I don't know if you are aware, but so I assume that you keep records of everything, right? Minor.
Yes.
You have a record. So if you do keep it, now this is an AI. I don't know if most of you have seen this update, but when I click on a cell here, you see this. It tells you chat with Copilot. Now you see this AI is integrated into this document. So assuming I have my document of values here, profit, cost, and all that, if there's something I need to understand that is beyond my level at the current moment, if there is something I'm keeping track of that is beyond my, I don't want to put too much effort into it or employ someone to actually do it. If it's something you want to do by yourself, you can use the AI in some of these features like Excel. Excel has an AI here. You can ask it something from your data. You can ask it to come up with a margin analysis, a revenue analysis, or what do we call it? A forecast. Given the values that you already have, you can ask it to forecast for the next 4 months how much I'm going to sell. So it is really a matter of how you integrate this, how you use these AIs for different purposes. You can use this that is already in Excel for it to analyze your data, for it to tell you things about your data that you might not notice at first, because you can see ndio hii imefunguka hapa Copilot. So if this information is in an Excel sheet, you can use it to do that. And then you can use on ChatGPT to help you more enrich your, for let's say, your forecasting capabilities to look into the future. So that is just and assuming maybe in business sometimes we take loans and the like. So if you have details on that, you can actually give it a loan statement, and depending on what you want to ask it pertaining the loan, like how much do I need to be making in the business? If I take away X amount from my business, this is what remains. How much do I need to be spending to pay off this loan? It will do the calculations, and it will actually tell you, sometimes even better than an accountant can. So this is just one of the uses. You can use it in your own personal business. But in our course for AI in business and analysis, we'll get deeper into this and see how you can actually integrate AI into your personal business, into what you're doing.
Okay, thank you.
You can also build
also
a
the
website. Yeah, sorry.
okay. The only other question was so I have to use the paid AI so to achieve that, or I can start with the free one, then I work towards it, use the other one.
Free. You can do it with the free.
Oh, okay. Thank you. Thank you.
The only thing about the paid AI is if what you're going to do, you're going to need more complex outcomes from an AI, and you're going to need it more often. You can now use the paid versions. But for but for straightforward tasks, these AIs are much more capable of doing that without the need for the pro versions. You can test it out during your free time and see.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Welcome.
I think we are afraid of what we don't know. So it's easier when you get a bit of knowledge.
Yeah, it's a good thing you're here, because this is the first step towards getting to know what AI is and what it can do for you.
Yeah. Thank you. I think I'll. Good night.
All right. Good night, and see you in our next session. Does anyone else have a question before we close this? Khalid?
Yes, I have a question. Thank you for your information first. You have really enlightened us about this AI and technology. My question is that how easy is this AI able to replace many of the jobs? And is it specific AI tools that one needs to learn, or almost every tool about AI? And suppose maybe, for example, one may wish to learn web design or other things. What are the necessary tools of AI that are necessary for him to learn or for her to learn? Thank you.
So it is not easy for AI to replace the jobs that you're doing, especially living in Africa. I can say that people have already started being replaced by AI, but this is in outside Africa, and the numbers are not that significant yet. And the reason being that it's going to take some time before that happens is that people, especially employers, it is very hard to entrust your business entirely to an AI. Good example is ChatGPT. So if I have a couple of employees, I replace them with, let's say, ChatGPT, because I think ChatGPT can do the job, and then I fire half of them. But you forget that something like ChatGPT, as much as I'm using it, it's also a company on itself, and it has never made a profit on its own. At some point, if you wake up, let's say 2 years from now, they're called OpenAI, they wake up and say, okay, we're not making money from this thing, because it's true, they're not actually making any money from being an AI, one of the largest AI companies. They say, we're not making money from all this, so we're closing OpenAI, together with all the tools that OpenAI comes with. So you had employees, experienced employees, and tomorrow ChatGPT is not there. So you're a company without employees and without ChatGPT. And that's how most employers think. In fact, the people who have been replaced by AI work in the companies that come up with this AI. But outside those companies, it's very hard for an employer to invest completely in an AI and do away with the human capital. They don't trust it yet that much. AI is prone to failure. As we have seen before, we weren't able to use one. There are days that ChatGPT disappeared for 3-4 days. The same with various AI models that we have. So yeah, it's not easy to be replaced by AI. And on the other thing, say web design or whatever you want to learn, it can come up with lesson structure for you if you want to pursue self-learning. If you're not pursuing self-learning and you want to register for a course, when you're doing the course, you'll actually find that AI helps you to understand the concepts. Remember, there was a feature that I'd shown you where you can prompt AI to explain something to you, like, and you can even tell it, explain it like a 6-year-old. So if you're finding some certain aspects of what you're doing and you have these notes and you're not able to understand, you can actually just copy paste that or upload that document to ChatGPT and ask it to break down the points, explain it to you like how a 10-year-old would understand, and give you the most important aspects of document. You can use it for learning, and after you've learned the basics in web design, when you're doing your own projects, you can use AI to, right now, something like ChatGPT can actually create an entire website from scratch as long as you prompt it correctly. So kama umevia prompt, how to prompt AIs, if you've used it enough, you know the basics of web development or web design, you can tell it, okay, so I need to create a website. I'm creating it for incorporate this. I don't know what web design entails exactly, but you tell it incorporate this. Using Python, incorporate some HTML and CSS. This should be the color, because you've already learned the course, so you know the basics of that course, but you want to make your work easier. And at a go, comes up with an entire website, you deploy it, and your work is just to what do we call it, to check for errors and correct errors here and there. So what would have taken you a week can take you 2 days, because at the end of the day, when you're servicing a client or a customer, they're looking for output, quality, and time. They don't care what you used to build it.
Okay,
Yeah,
thank you.
welcome. All right, so let's meet in our next session. This will be on Tuesday. Unless anyone has a question, now is the time.
I have one last question.
Yes.
So I've been seeing like a lot of videos on socials about
Mhm.
people automating things like their social media posts. So it's
Yeah,
like
yeah.
it's picked up from Excel, and then it's automatically, a picture is taken from Google Drive, and then they're calling these agents. So what is an agent? What is this agent they are talking about?
So basically, an agent is just another name for AI, but in a different context. Actually, this is a very good use for AIs. So these agents, they operate based on a trigger. So when something happens, it, let's say, triggers a certain process to occur, leading to an output that maybe you have specified. These agents, you can actually build them without knowledge in coding. It is very low code and accessible to everyone. The backbone of these agents at the end of the day is AI. So the thing with these agents is that you don't actually feel that I'm coding or I'm using AI or something like that. It is very interactive when you're building one, when you're building that process, when you're integrating it into your emails or your social media content or posting. So an agent is, because the full term is AI agent. So it's just, again, an AI, but made for a very specific task.
So chat GPT an agent, or it's not? I'm not sure I get it.
ChatGPT is not an agent. An agent, just as the word implies, is something that interacts between two, I'd say, two events. Let's say I need an agent that can read my emails and give me the most important features of that email without me opening an email. Let's say it reads my email and sends me a text that I've received an email from so and this is what they are saying. So if you're using an AI agent, it means you have integrated it into your Gmail. The moment it has sensed that there's an email, it's going to look through that email, it's going to summarize it, and then it's going to send a text to you giving you the summary of that email. However, if you're talking about an AI, wewe ndo unafanya the kazi ya mkono bado. You still have to go to Gmail, you have to click on the email, you have to right click and tell the AI summarize this email for me. But you see the agent imekufanyia that part of opening the email and telling it to summarize it. So it just does the same work repeatedly, summarizes, sends you the summary by itself without a prompt. So it's like you've set a prompt only once, and that prompt acts every time there's an email that happens. But AI itself, you have to prompt it each and every single time, but an agent acts without the prompt. You just have to do it once, and then it triggers anytime an email imeingia. So an agent ni kama mtu wa mkono, but ni AI. But an AI is just AI, wewe ndio mtu wa mkono.
So AI is like I have to keep repeating my request. The
Yes.
agent, I can automate it.
You can, exactly. Agent is automation. AI, you have to repeat your request. It will not act on its own.
Okay.
Yeah. And this is used in very many features. For example, if you pay your M-Pesa, when you're paying for an example would be when you're paying for M-Pesa, you get a message back after you've paid. But between you getting the message back and you paying, a lot has happened in between. So that does not use an AI, but if you are using an AI, it would look like that, where nimelipa, then there's an AI agent at the background, it does this, and then ninapata confirmation that pesa imeenda huko. So that will be an example of where an AI agent will be working or coming in.
Okay,
Yeah.
thank you. That helps. Okay, thanks.
So let's meet in our next class. Have a lovely weekend. Please remember to go through the contents that we already made. It's going to make it much more interactive next time. Goodbye and good night.